Coming up on the Get Loud podcast, we'll talk plenty about JD5, but I believe Smoochstradamus is here.
Yes, and Smooch, a.k.a. Daniel Boone.
Oh, God. Brentley Weissman going to talk draft with us?
I love talking to that guy. He's great.
He's great, and we're going to play Jeopardy with...
No winner.
You spoiled it.
How you doing, everyone? It is the Get Loud podcast presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Find tickets to Commanders games and more at SeatGeek. And it's here.
Yes.
Smooth's here. I'm James. We got Kayla holding it down in the back. What's going on, brother?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. How about you? Horns down.
Horns up. I'm doing well, man.
This what's up, man.
You are as white as, the snow today.
Like, that's what I like to do. Like, I like to bend the rules a little bit because most people say you can't wear white after what, Labor Day?
Yeah.
Not me. I wear white all year long. I feel like ain't nothing smoother than just seeing white. We got snow on the ground.
It's a year-long white party.
Yeah, I got snow on the ground, so ain't nothing like me walking slow motion with white on through the snow.
Why slow motion?
Because that's what happens when you cool.
I was like, you stay outside, it's colder.
It makes me think of like Star Wars with the Tauntauns.
Yeah, oh, the Tauntauns.
In that like winter.
Oh, good call.
Thank you.
Yeah, so imagine me in the parking lot of Wegmans. Slowly get out my car.
Now, see, I had this vision of you slowly, smooth, walking through the snow. I didn't see Wegmans in the background.
I'm just saying, just slowly gets out the car, you know? Get up, snow slowly falling, hit that white shirt. I turn and look. You know what I'm saying?
You go inside, you keep away, get some milk.
Yeah,
vitamin D.
Just what's the gallon of milk?
So everything's white.
Might as well, man. Like I say, where did that rule come from?
I honestly, I'm glad you said this. I've always thought it was a dumb rule. Like, if you like to wear something and it's white, who cares?
I'm saying, like, what? Because it usually has to be. Was it bad luck? Was it?
I thought it was to make money. It's like, oh, you have to buy new white for your wardrobe every year or something.
I guess it's
not a bad theory.
We just took on a holiday that's all about commerce, Valentine's Day.
I know.
Oh, what'd you do for Valentine's Day, by the way?
No. See, there go the thing about Fred.
Oh, I knew this was coming.
I don't show back up till February 15th. That's when you get
like a groundhog.
Yeah, that's when you get a text from me. Hey, big head, what you been up to the last 3 months? See, it's a couple of months you got to stay away from. All right?
Okay.
This starts November 27th, because that's going to right around where Thanksgiving happened.
Yeah.
That's a family holiday. You're going to have to spend that time with her. All right? Then you're talking about another commerce holiday, Christmas. Big presents right there. Then you got New Year's right back door. You talk about thousands of more dollars. Then you got Valentine's Day right behind that one. No, so I miss all of that. I'm more there from February 17th, right in there, and I start right in there and right about in November.
We are going to talk some football, I promise. I also want to say, I wish everyone had the vantage point that I have, because I look at you so demonstrative. I'm not coming out till after Valentine's Day. I'm like, what do Anna's doing right now? Anna's like,
Just shake.
What a shame.
That's so sad. I was thinking about you on Valentine's Day, though, because me and my friends were all bitterly single. And
congrats.
Thank you. And I was like, you know what? I need to look at this with the lens of Fred Smoot. Yeah. Like, I don't have to buy anyone a gift.
You don't.
And I can go out with my friends and I'll know who the singles are.
Thank you.
Plus, you got, come on, Anna. You got tons of time.
I have time on my hands.
Like, some people look at stuff. I'm always a cup half full guy. Right? Just because you ain't dating nobody at the time.
Means nothing.
That don't mean you're less happier than this person with a cup.
Right.
It doesn't mean that. It just means I'm still looking.
And I know you, I know all, this production staff here is incredible.
Yeah.
You should take your time. You should be picky. Seriously, take your time.
Yeah, don't be rushing.
If it's tomorrow, if it's 10 years, take your time.
Yeah, maybe we need to do a relationship advice column here. Forget loud. You guys can call us with your voicemails, and we can.
Yes.
We can also
one time I got on the knee, I fell down.
Well, here's one person we all fell in love with this season.
Yeah.
Jayden Daniels.
We did Jedi 5.
We did.
Mind tricks on us.
Oh, it's the hot ticket presented by SeatGeek, the most disruptive idea in ticketing. A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek. So we're talking about the 2024 AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. Where do we go from here? And I don't mean this in a negative way.
Yeah.
But we're talking about
The bar
no
being set
exaggeration.
high.
I mean, the bar is set impossibly high.
I don't worry about a sophomore slump. I done heard this from people. Is he going to slump? Yeah. Is he going to show us he's human? He's human, all right? We know that. He just happened to be a Jedi. Now, understand this about this guy. Because he does, I'm all about his preparation. Mm-hmm. Proper preparations prevents poor performance.
That's a good alliteration.
Yeah, the P5, all right? He is the epitome of this, all right? This guy, he understands football in a way. I'm more excited to see him play his second year because I know how it slows down for you your second year. Now you see the game in a whole different traction. And with this kid, playing all the football he played in college, having all those starts, having all those reps, that's called rep reinforcement for me. That means at one point between all of these starts, you showed me who you are. And he's continued to get better each and every year. Never the arrow pointing the other way. So time has taught me with this kid, he gonna be better than the last time. So I don't worry about regression with this guy. It's full speed ahead. He showed you, see, it's a difference between somebody show you they're good, but when somebody shows you they're special.
Yes.
Because this rookie season topped Andrew Luck's rookie season, topped RG3's rookie season, topped CJ Stroud's rookie season. It was legitimately the best quarterback season of all time for a rookie. So in saying that, we have no one to compare him to.
And isn't that the difference between, and I don't want to go necessarily to Caleb Williams, but look, Caleb Williams could end up being a star because he had a very good rookie season.
No, he did.
Yeah, but don't we all agree that what we saw from Jayden is like he's already a superstar?
No, he's a superstar that knows how to take the sunshine of success. Success doesn't change him. Like, the one thing we could say about him, like, if you got Caleb or you got Jayden Daniels, ain't no lose in that situation. But we know this, our guy's a little bit more mature than theirs. Yeah. Right? Our guy doesn't wear his feeling on his sleeves. Our guy leads by action. Our guy know he ain't nothing owed to him. Our guy had to earn everything that's came to him and everything that's come to him. Caleb been a blue chip since he was in 10th grade. Right? It's a different view out of different lenses. Our guy looking through Ray-Bans, because you know what? Ray-Bans is a working man's shades.
They are?
Yeah.
I thought they were Maui Jims.
No. Because when somebody come beside you wearing Balenciagas or Gucci or Louis Vuitton, that's high end. That's high end and needy. All right? No, give me the working man's Ray-Bans. I got looking out of Ray-Bans.
I always get my sunglasses from like a convenience store.
Listen.
I swear to God, because I lose glasses constantly. So I can spin them around. I'm like, this is cost me $10 or $20. They look pretty good. You'll never know the difference.
Listen, I've been like that since I was young because I'm bad with glasses.
Oh, me too.
I lose them all the time. So guess what I do? I go buy a cheap pair of shades that look good, draw a B on it.
You draw on it?
Either LV. Nobody even second guesses because it's me.
You know what you could do is just put like a couple diagonal stripes or something. Be like, yeah, I got these. I went to Europe and I got these. I don't even know what brand they are. Yeah. Like, oh, that's cool.
That's these Beducci's.
Yeah. Beducci's. I got these in Portugal. They're Beducci's.
Nobody
Portuguese.
Nobody ever asks. No, they were like, oh, what kind of shades is there?
Beducci's. Beducci sounds like an Italian restaurant in Ashburn. We're going to Beducci's tonight.
Yeah, make me a Beducci's for half an hour.
Did you learn, or were you surprised? I mean, look, you've always been an exceptional football player, and I know you've always had the work ethic, but when you got to the NFL, and I feel like a lot of rookies, it kind of hits them in the face like, oh.
Sobering.
Yes. Oh, that's what I'm getting to.
All this other talent?
Yes, and the work that it takes to keep up with that level of talent.
Well, the one thing that you learn quickly when you get to the NFL, if I don't be better than I was yesterday, that means I'm worse than I was yesterday.
And someone's always working.
And everybody that's around me getting better. It's like I can say this: when you walk in your first locker room, and that's in the off season, so the locker room probably have 100 guys in it instead of 53. You see then off of sure size and how fast the dude just ran down the hall. What are you running for? You running the 4.3 in the hour. Like you are like that's when you realize, okay, now I'm a part of this 1%.
Yes.
But then you get some guys that, this is the top part of this 1%. Like, God if you made it to the league, you have God-given talent. That means size, speed, like you got these things. But then you get around some guys, and not only do they have all this God-given talent, they have this relentless.
Yes.
Sean Taylor was like this, very just, no nonsense, relentless. And that attitude made him different than the other, let's have fun 1%. He was like, I'm my own business. Like, yeah, I'm going to peel your cap at work today. So the running backs knew if they ran the ball with this dude on the field, it's a chance you're probably going to get hit.
When you sort of have that hit you in the face, or you have to work this hard. For a guy like Jayden, I feel like he's rare in that he kind of already knew.
But see, it ain't the physical work that I'm happy he puts in. It's the mental.
Because already he was showing up. I mean, we know the stories were throughout the season. He's just always here.
I'm the first guy here. And instead of playing a video game, I'm doing a VR, virtual reality. So not only am I just got out of practice, I got 100 extra reps. All right, so he's addicted. And I'm going to tell you like this. When sports come an addiction, you become a GOAT. All right? All the GOATs I know are addicted.
Yes.
Michael Jordan, addicted to goat's milk. All right? Tom Brady, addicted to goat's milk. Almost to the point they say he was crazy. He was so addicted.
You know what's funny about that? And I know Tom, there's been a lot of, some people like him, some people don't as a color commentator. I think he's getting a lot better. But when you hear him sort of strip away the veneer, because Tom is always used to being so perfect in everything that he does, the way he presents himself. And he was on a radio show and he was, for a second, he just dropped that veneer and he was talking football. And he was saying...
With Colin Cowherd.
Yes, that's what it was. And he was talking about how when he went up to the line of scrimmage, before the play even started, he knew exactly what the defense... He goes like, and I know what that safety's going to do because of how he's cocking his head. I know what that linebacker's going to do because he turned his hip this way. The amount of preparation, he goes, it's all before the game in here before I even get the snap.
He do it with the cadence.
Yes.
His cadence became his weapon. That's why he'll do this quick cadence sometime and just go right into the play. Then he'll come back to the line, bark some stuff out. We got to move eventually.
Right.
And so now he playing this chess game with us. So now I got London Fletcher as my middle linebacker, and he checking. So they going back and forth. That's that mental warfare. And that's why I say the one thing that I noticed about all GOATs, they are addicted. Jerry Rice had an addiction. All right. LeBron, addiction. All right. Ovechkin, addiction
to success.
It's like once you're part of that 1%, the other people, they enjoy being here. They take it very serious, but I am addicted.
Yes.
And I think that's how you become Darryl Green.
So if you're Jayden Daniels, what is his... It's a tough question to answer because his ceiling seems unlimited. We know the floor is extremely high.
Like Michael Jordan say, the floor is the ceiling.
The floor is the ceiling.
The floor is the ceiling.
Right? I mean, it's unlimited, is it not?
Well, think about it. What if I told you, Jinx, what he threw 3,700 some yards this year, rushed for like 900? What if I told you this is his worst year?
Oh, don't say that. I can't even fathom it.
No, but legitimately, we look at him as a 4,000-yard passer, right?
Yes.
All right, as he get better, that's going to be his range. 4,000 yards. So this legitimately could be his worst statistic year. All right, and that's unbelievable.
What would you say? Because I've heard, and I don't buy this at all, I've heard this from a couple people, and I'm like, dude, tell me you know ball or you don't know ball without telling me you don't know ball. Where he was like, once defenses adjust in his second season, he's going to fall back. I'm like,
did they adjust to Lamar?
Right.
All right, dude, no. They can't adjust for something that's faster than you. You can't adjust for somebody that heartbeat slows down in the biggest times. This guy don't got blood or plasma. He got ice water. All right, running through his veins. All right, this guy was a rookie in the NFC Championship. And hell, he didn't blink once. Did not blink once. This guy's just gonna get better. I don't do superstition. All right.
Okay.
I did when I played. I did.
Do you still have that ring from your sock? The elastic?
I do got the ring sock. I got the ring sock. I had the ring sock since 01.
I had to tell that story myself. I was like, Fred Smoot still has a piece of elastic from a sock. Right?
Well, the foot part of the sock just disappeared.
Yeah.
So then I wore it almost like a wristband.
Ew.
That's basically all.
Gross. That's nasty.
From the foot to the wrist?
No, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. So basically, it was an ankle band.
Okay.
I looked at it and I tell people this used to be a whole sock. But time takes everything away from us.
It does.
Look what it did to London.
London just catching strays right
Poor
now.
London. Well, I know a lot of people are wondering, how are we going to build around Jayden in this draft?
And it's keeping us on track.
Sorry, I apologize.
Because we got a construction worker here by the name of Adam Peters and Company.
LLC.
LLC. You want to build and build? Call Mr. Peters. All I'm saying is this. Let him cook. What did I tell people before this season started? I had people losing their mind after the first game. What we gonna do? I thought stuff had changed. And I'm like, be patient. Let Peters cook. Let these guys cook. Grandma, put love in that food.
Grandma's got some help in the kitchen.
You know,
and it's Adam Peters.
Don't come in that kitchen until she finish. All right? And guess what Jinx did when he was young? Went right there to that door. You finished, Grandma? No. Right? But get what? When she told you to wash your hands, you know what time it was.
Time to eat.
Well, of course, our fans have their takes.
Of course they do.
Oh.
Should we
We're going
cue up our
voicemail?
first voicemail?
Yeah. Who we got? Colorado Pete.
Hey, Jinx and Fred and the Get Loud team. This is Colorado Pete. Hey, I'm calling on who we should pick at 29. I think we need to go with an NFL-ready offensive tackle. Got to protect JD at all costs. Of course, this should also improve the running game, which will protect JD. So that's good. So I'm interested to hear who you guys like at OT. If any NFL ready will drop to 29. Mm-hmm. I know Jenks will like that guy Banks out of UT, but would love to hear other guys you'd be interested in. If there isn't a tackle who's ready to go at 29, then I would get a big for the interior defensive line. We need to bolster that up too. So look forward to hearing your takes and look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Yes, Smoostradamus is live. I'm here. And this draft is it's good in the middle. You're going to find a lot of players because people like to say you need to have a first rounder. Didn't Adam Peters just show y'all last year with Coleman? I can get a guy in the third and he can be a starter.
Yeah.
It happens all the time in this league and he's right. Bring on the beef. All right? You remember that commercial?
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? I'm looking for the guys that smell like bacon. All right. Since Philadelphia is that's who you judge yourself off of. Right? They are the Super Bowl
You measure
champions.
yourself against the champs.
You measure yourself against the champs. Where are the champs just different than everybody else?
On the lines,
on the offensive line and on the defensive line. So guess what? If we're going to compete with them, we have to bolster that on our team. So I had some more tackles I had written down here. I like the Josh Simmons guy at the offense. Ohio State.
Yeah.
I don't know who raised him, but he is fiercely mean. All right.
Don't you love to see a lineman with a mean streak?
Yeah, like this guy, I don't even think I ever seen him smile. They won a championship and he was just looking in the camera. I like, this guy's a monster. Like you could just tell some guys, I don't do the emotion thing. So he that type player that doesn't do the emotion thing. And what about the Cameron Williams guy from Texas?
Cam Williams is a beast too.
See, they ain't talking about him.
He's a guy you could he's not as good as Kelvin Banks Jr.
Yeah.
But is another very good player. If you're talking about players you can get later on who can have an impact.
And that's where we got to realize, if our first pick at 29, that's where we picking it every round. So we got to look at those rounds. That's why I won't say nothing about Banks, because I feel like he's just going to go.
He'll go.
He's going to go so early. But I do like Emory Jones from LSU. And who has the best information on Emory Jones? JD5.
Oh, that's
a guy
right,
that played with him last year. A guy, Emory Jones, who used to a quarterback that runs. So when you play with a quarterback runs, you have to block a little bit longer because you don't know where he's going to end up. Yep. All right, so Emory Jones will be a guy that I keep on my thing. I got a couple interior guys.
Let's go.
Too. I got Tate Ratledge, who I think he mean as a pot of greens too. Like, if you notice, one thing I like about my offensive lineman, attitude.
Yes.
Because if you have to have it. If you're a draft prospect, you got the size. I don't have to check for that. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for the things that I cannot correlate through to just measurements.
You want a nasty disposition.
I want you know, in the days of the Hogs, they used to just jump in the RV with Rigo and throw back brewskis and walk out of there with a gut. I'm talking about just, sometimes you know it when you know it.
Yeah.
Right? I want that. I want people that understand that offensive line and defensive line, you're not going to get the love that the rest of us get. But you are the reason we win.
And you have to be okay with that, too.
You have to truly be okay with that. The Chris Samuels of the world. You have to truly, he understood. I won't be as popular as this guy that is not as important in the team that I am.
Right.
And that's what it is with offensive linemen. So I'm more personality. I like Donovan Jackson. I like Wyatt Mingham. So it's guys in this thing like, it's a weak quarterback draft, but offensive line, defensive line, linebacker. Now, if I can say this, if James Pierce Jr. drops in Tennessee, Brooks pass rush, I'm taking him.
Oh, so you really like him as a prospect?
I think he's a top 15 prospect, but he's coming off an injury. I think the injury will cause him to drop.
Sometimes you can find value that way.
No, think about this. It takes luck, too. The Eagles wasn't posed to get Jalen Carter, a.k.a. Doomsday. They weren't supposed to get him. He fell to them.
Yeah.
After they had just got Jordan Davis the year before. Nakobe Dean failed in the draft to them. So it takes a little luck. And guess what? Your bad luck turns out to be another team's good luck.
Also, Colorado Pete. Talk to me on X. I love Pete. Talk to him all the time. And the one thing I love about Colorado Pete is you can have a discussion with Colorado Pete. We might disagree about something, but guess what? We go back and forth, talk things out. That's a rare thing.
Colorado Pete and Jenks,
that's my guy.
Yeah.
Tell him I got my rubber overalls. I'm ready to go fly fishing. Listen, that's the one thing about me. 19 consecutive years I've won the Daniel Boone Award for Outdoorsman of the Year.
I know.
The things I do, why are you looking at me
He's
like
a serious outdoorsman.
I believe a lot of what you say, but I'm like, I don't know,
Fred, I don't know if you're ready for how outdoorsy. Guys, by the way, in case you couldn't tell, Colorado Pete and I are related.
Yes.
He's my father.
Yes, they are.
He's serious. He'll go on horseback to fly fish. He does crazy stuff.
Horseback to fly fish?
They'll horseback to the river and then they'll hike up.
First of all, I go ride my horse in the river and fish off the back of the horse. Listen, I done got so good at fish.
You are. I mean, I know you love the
good
you are
fisher.
outdoors.
No, I got so good at fishing now.
Okay.
When I walk past a pond, I don't even bring a fishing pole no more. I just go stand beside the pond. Before I know it, 23 fish right there.
Well, we got another email from another fan regarding O-line and D-line. You ready for me? And also they're looking for an apology, friend. Zion, the ultimate commander, is back. I told y'all we would go deep in January, 12-5 at worst, and Super Bowl by 2026. Smoot called me crazy. More feet on the ground, in quotes, but look at us. Now hear me loud and clear. Give me an apology publicly. Y'all owe me that. Are you ready?
All right, Commander. I apologize to no one. You understand? Because I thought we were going to go 12-5 too. All right? So, no, I give you an apology because at that time, nobody thought we were going to do what we did. Come on now.
Yeah.
Maybe we thought we can get in there to the wild card. Come on, people, be realistic with yourself. Yes. But no, we didn't think that JD5 and the rest of this team this year was going to take us the first year of a coaching change and a GM change and the first year of a quarterback. That usually equals top 10 drafting.
Yeah.
Right? So just because we was the anomaly, all right? You remember, was you here the year we got an earthquake up here? A trip?
Oh, yes.
People lost it. But it's an anomaly.
Yes.
We don't worry about earthquakes. We don't worry about none of that.
And the joke was, it's like DC earthquake was like a lawn chair turned over.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know, people in DC can't drive. If I just waste a cup of ice on the ground, it's over. All right? But it's one of them things where it caught us all off guard. But I apologize because since you say I called you and said you had lost it, I apologize. That's from me and Jinx. We're going to send you a birthday card. Pictures of me and Jinx on the front.
Together.
Sorry. Now, he says, for us to complete the recalibrating, we only need to address our O-line and D-line. We need 14th earth movers. 6'7", 360 pounds or heavier. Mean and nasty interior trenchmen. By any means, go and find humongous body types for our trenches. Our coaches will develop them. You've got to find monstrous body types. Okay, he goes on about this for a bit.
14, Andre the Giants.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They just don't have those.
He goes on, only sign real humongous earth movers. Plenty huge men roam the earth, but size and power is only God-given, and you can develop them. So he's saying you don't even need a skill. You just need to be enormous. Well, did you see that at the Super Bowl?
You need skill.
Wasn't there like a record set for like the size of like the Eagles O-line? Like set a record.
All 6'7", 360, 350.
It's a blueprint.
That's what it is. And Mailata was playing rugby 5 years ago.
That's right.
All right, and Mekhi Becton.
And if you're playing rugby, by the way, you are athletic
First of all,
as hell.
And you're rough.
You're mean.
And your dentist is on speed dial. All right, we understand that. But I understand what he's saying. I totally understand. It's easier said than done.
Yes.
But most definitely, that's where we need to go. Trench warfare. And then this is Adam Peasley's season right now. This is when he shakes and moves. This is when he makes things happen right now. Like between draft, trade, free agents, this is his time to shine.
14 Bill Braskys. Do you remember that from SNL?
That's what he wants. Yeah, let's give me 14 Mekhi Bectons and a Lord Fry and a Sprite. Let me pay some of these bills.
Pay some bills, baby.
MWAA. We don't travel to escape life. We travel so life doesn't escape us. We dream of any place in the world, and in the blink of an eye, we're there. That's the wonder of flight. All you have to do is decide where to. Dulles International Airport. Let your imagination soar. Book your adventure today at flydulles.com/nonstop. Anna, your turn.
All right. Get Loud is brought to you by Bet365, the official sports betting partner of the Washington Commanders. Bet on a range of NFL markets with the Bet365 app. Craft your own personalized bet slip with Parlay. Access thousands of games with live streaming. Place your bet before the match or during the game. It's up to you. Download the Bet365 app today and join 80 million members worldwide. Age 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
That's flawless.
Beautiful.
I must say this. I hate to shoot Caroline down, but
no Caroline slander on this podcast.
Tell her I did it.
I will.
I don't know. What school
she
did
will
Caroline,
not be happy.
What school did Caroline go to?
She's a CNU girly.
Yeah, I hate to say Colorado. CU just upstaged them.
We all know Colorado's the ivy of the West.
It's not.
The ivy of the Rocky Mountains. Well, we already heard from Spootradamus. Now it's time for another draft expert. We got to talk about the NFL draft now with our guy, Brentley Weissman, former draft scout for the Chargers. He's a Game of Thrones fan. You've seen him on this pod before. Hey, man, thanks for being with us. It's been a minute, but we had to bring you in with the draft coming up. And my first question to you is, because I'll follow you on X or keep tabs with what you're up to, how much work do you put in scouting the guys coming out of college?
Oh, man. Well, first off, thanks, guys, for having me. Always good to get back on the program and excited to talk some ball with you guys. Obviously, we're really in the middle of NFL draft prep combines next week. And, yeah, man, to answer your question, I am watching a ton of film every single day on all of the top college prospects. I'm about 130 players deep currently with reports up for PFN. And definitely, spending a lot of time here and excited to kind of take this next step into the NFL draft process.
And the funny part about this draft, because to me, we just had the best quarterback draft of all times last year, it makes this draft feel a little lacking a little star power, especially when it comes to the quarterback position. But I personally think all other positions that this is a stacked draft when it comes to tight ends, when it comes to defensive linemen, when it comes to defensive backs. So I feel like it's a lot of depth in this draft, just doesn't have that overall star power that last year did.
100%. Well, I think last year, not just quarterback, but across the board was maybe one of the best classes we'll ever see. I mean, it was just truly outstanding. We're talking 4 to 5 receivers who are going to go on to be Pro Bowlers. Obviously, the quarterbacks, Jayden Daniels leading the way, are all outstanding. Got the defensive ends in Jared Verse and Dallas Turner, the corners, Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. I mean, across the board, last year was just a borderline outlier. Now this year, I think there are certainly some positions that have some good depth. You know, talking about tight end, phenomenal year to need a tight end. Running back, you have Ashton Jeanty, but you also have 3 other guys, Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, Quinshon Junkins, who I do think all could be NFL starters. Corners, as you mentioned, led by Travis Hunter. I think this is a really good class to need a corner. Now, I don't think this year's class has a lot of the kind of top echelon talent where, you know, they would be considered a top 10 pick in any year. I don't know if that's this year's class, but this year's class, kind of in that sweet spot between pick 20 and pick 55, you're going to see a lot of value. So for the Commanders, pick 29, you're in a great spot.
Overall, I know Smoot has talked about a good pass-catching tight end is one of the needs that the Commanders have that he'd like to see. Tyler Warren will not be here at 29. He's just not going to be there or later on in the draft. But overall, as a tight end, is he the next great tight end in the NFL? It looks like he has everything you need to be massively successful at the pro level.
I think so. You know, I think it's tough for Tyler Warren because naturally he's going to get compared to Brock Bowers, who we literally just saw have easily the greatest rookie season of a tight end ever. And I think it's unfair, right? I do think Brock Bowers is in a tier of his own. I had him as a number 3 overall player last year, you know, regardless of position. So Brock Bowers is a complete unicorn, generational outlier. Tyler Warren is not that. However, Tyler Warren is a sure thing in terms of his floor. I think he's going to be, at worst, a top 8 tight end from the minute he gets into the NFL. He has outstanding receiving skills, incredible ball skills and body control. He can get up there and attack the football in the air. Great in contested situations. I mean, the guy's 6'7", and he moves with the elegance and the fluidity of a 6'3" receiver. I mean, he is truly an amazing athlete for his size. But where I think he provides a lot of value is he's a 3-down tight end. He can block on early downs. He can be a weapon on passing downs. He is truly a great player. I think, and again, in this year's class, where I don't think it's that top heavy, I have him as a top 5 player in this class. Like, that's how I really view him. So certainly, I think, you know, teams in the top 10, they'll be targeting Tyler Warren.
Well, it's just when you talk about it though, you got Loveland there, you got everybody likes Harold Fanning Jr. I'm not as high on him. You got Mason Taylor. I'm really high on Gunnar Ham. I think he could end up being the jewel. Don't do it because it's Texas.
No,
now.
I'm just saying.
Did you just throw a horn up?
I'm just
saying.
I would say the difference between him and other tight ends is probably about that much.
Oh, so just an inch, just a horn
about that
length.
Much, yeah.
All right, and I like the guy Elijah Aurora from Miami. I think he's the one that has that chance to be. Because his playing style, to me, is more like Brock Bowers than anybody else in this draft because he is a glorified, to me, large receiver that you can still play on all 3 down.
Yeah, I mean, Elijah Aurora from Miami, you know, Fred, I mean, he had an incredible Senior Bowl. He was probably one of the better players all throughout the week, all throughout the practices. He was impossible to cover one-on-one. As you mentioned, he has the speed to kind of stretch the seam. Very similar to Brock Bowers in the sense of you can move him across the line of scrimmage, put him in the slot. You can put him at the X as a bigger kind of flanker. He can do a lot for you. I think he really helped himself. Mason Taylor, you guys mentioned from LSU, Jason Taylor's son. I mean, I think he is an athletic specimen who was really underused at LSU. I think he's going to be a better pro than he was collegiate player. But, you know, one guy you guys didn't mention is my Oregon guy, Terrence Ferguson. I think he is highly underrated in this year's class. Obviously, Oregon had a ton of weapons last year with Tez Johnson, Evan Stewart, Trayshawn Holden, but Terrence Ferguson's been a 4-year contributor, for the Ducks. His game, this is going to sound crazy, but he is very much a poor man's Kelsey in the way he gets open. He's not the biggest, not the fastest, but he's smooth. He understands angles, understands how to set up defenders. I think he's going to be drafted somewhere in the third round and be a really productive player early on in his career.
I think it's a very, very deep running back draft. Like, I could see legitimately 10 of these guys developing into a starter, and I think it's some hidden gems in there. Like, I know Ollie Gordon had problems in some pass protections at the Senior Bowl, but I still think he's a great back, and everybody like Cam Scatterboo. I don't know how fast Scatterboo is going to be, but my diamond in the rough when it comes to the running back is Rocket Raheem. You understand? Sanders.
There we go.
I think he can be a late draft round pick that end up being a day one starter. I think he's dead talented.
He was phenomenal in Arkansas. I mean, he's a big back, the powerful back. He has some good straight line speed. I think his vision's good. I think, there's a lot of backs, to your point, Fred, in this year's class that are getting lost in the shuffle. I think, Raheem Sanders is one of those guys, certainly. And, another back I'd mention who I think isn't getting as much shine as he probably should is Damian Martinez out of Miami. Mm-hmm. I think Damian Martinez, in my opinion, should not get out of the third round. This is a back that's 225, 230 pounds, has feet that are excellent. I mean, he can stop and start, change direction, outstanding vision. I think for whatever reason, whether it was playing in Miami's offense, being overshadowed by Cam Ward and all of that passing game, we're forgetting about Martinez because last year when he transferred out of Oregon State, he was viewed as a top 4 back. And I'm not quite sure what happened of how we kind of lost track of him, but I'm a huge Damian Martinez fan. And, obviously the guys at the top I think are all really spectacular running backs. I mean, to me, this is the best running back class I've seen in quite some time.
It's at least 15 deep with capable starters. It's blowing me away when I keep looking, and then I see another name, and I Quinshon Judkins, any other year, he would be the number 1 back off the team with Trayvon Henderson. It's so many of these backs, and they all have different skill sets.
100%. I mean, Quinshon Judkins, I think, look, we had to play him twice. My Ducks had to play him twice, and this guy is a monster. He breaks tackles. His contact balance is unreal. Really good quickness, can make you miss in the open field. He's phenomenal. I do think Henderson will be drafted ahead of him because I think Henderson – his skill set's a little more unique in that he can be a true home run threat in a wide zone scheme, really kind of stretch the defense and put his foot on the ground and get upfield. I think Quinshon Judkins is more of your kind of gap runner, can really cut off blocks, has good vision and inside. So I think, to you guys' earlier point, it's definitely a 31 flavor, kind of what do you like, right, at running back this year, but I think easily you'll see 10 running backs drafted on the first 2 days. And I think half of those guys are going to hit. I mean, I think this is truly a rare running back class. And good for them. Running back has been getting just kind of poo-pooed on over the past 10 years, right? And I think it devalued. And I think last year with Saquon and all these other players having great seasons, it's about time that running back kind of has its renaissance. And I think this year's class is going to further kind of go into that for the NFL.
Talking to Brentley Weissman. He's a former scout for the Chargers. Also, check out his draft reports on PFSN, also on X
he also lives in Westeros. He's one of those. He's a Westeros. He also lives in
Westeros as well. Sorry, I forgot to get that in. I know you guys love your Game of Thrones. Also, we haven't even talked about the quarterbacks yet. Yeah. And Cam Ward said earlier this week, if you don't pick me, I'm going to remember it, which is easy to say because he hasn't played it down
for football yet. We all say that in the draft.
That's what I'm saying. He hasn't done anything yet. But when it comes to scouting the quarterbacks, do you prefer Cam? Do you like Shedeur Sanders? Is it a toss-up, or do you like someone else?
I prefer Cam Ward.
Do you?
I don't think either of them are sure things. I don't love either of them. With that said, they will both be top 10 picks. The quarterback position is too important for teams to not at least take the swing. So if I'm going to take a swing in the top 10 of a player, with a player who I'm maybe not in love with, I'm taking the traits. I'm taking the higher upside player. And Cam Ward, to me, is that he has some things you cannot simply coach. He has the playmaking ability, the creativity, the improvisation, just the overall raw talent to make you right. Where I think Shedeur Sanders, you're really going to have to trust in your scheme. He's not a type of player that can create a ton off platform. He is a player who likes to play within the structure, play within the rhythm of the offense, get the ball out quickly, get him to open playmakers, and that's fine. But Cam Ward, to me, has a skill set. He can truly kind of transcend your offense, elevate players around him, create when things are broken, create when things aren't on schedule. And so I would be willing to kind of take that risk with Cam. Mm-hmm. With that said, Cam has to learn to play more under control.
Yeah.
His turnovers and turnover-worthy plays are insane. I mean, again, I'm clearly a big Duck fan, and we played him 3 straight years at Washington State. So I've watched a ton of Cam Ward living here on the West Coast, and it's remarkable. He'll make one of the best plays you'll ever see. Breaking tackles in the pocket, escaping left, throwing 50 yards down the field on a rope. Very next play, he'll take the worst sack in the world, lose a fumble. The ball gets recovered, return for a touchdown. Now Washington State's going to lose the game. It is just a huge variance with Cam Ward that really scares me. It scares me. However, the upside, I would certainly take over Shedeur Sanders, who I just think is a more of a kind of higher floor player, but I think the higher ceiling is Cam Ward.
Brother, what if I told you, Smoosh the Dumbest, the draft guru, looked at this draft in the quarterback room, and I had what I said, this is a Matt Hasselbeck class. What if I told you right now that the back-end quarterbacks are going to be better than the quarterbacks taken in the first round? So I'm basically saying Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, might have a chance to be worse than, let's say, a Jackson Dart, a Will Howard, a Dylan Gabriel, a Riley Leonard. That's a guy that really kind of I think he has a lot to work with. What if I told you the lower drafted guys are going to be better than the higher drafted guys when we turn the page 10 years from now?
I think in this year's class, especially, that could be more true than ever. Because I do think the teams drafting in the top 10 this year, I mean, we're looking at some dumpster fires. Let's be honest about this. I mean, Tennessee, Las Vegas, New Orleans, the Jets,
Browns.
These are the New York Giants. I mean, these are teams that have just massive holes. They are nowhere near being able to win. They are not a quarterback away. So if you're Cam Ward or Shedeur going anywhere in this top 10, good luck. I mean, there is a good chance both of these guys aren't even starting come year 3. And it's unfortunate to say, but that's just the truth of the situation, right? And if you're a quarterback like Dylan Gabriel, Will Howard, Jackson Dart, who might have the luxury to go to a team like the Rams later in the draft, or Seattle later in the draft, or, one of these teams that, Atlanta, or not Atlanta, but, one of these teams that just might be looking for that kind of next guy or a bridge quarterback or a quarterback to develop, well, they're also going to better coaching staffs, right? They're going to better run organizations. And so I think there's a great chance that some of those guys later in the rounds, later in the draft, will be better players in the NFL than Shedeur and Cam Ward. And it's almost not even anything to do with Cam or Shedeur. It's more about the surroundings, the organization they get drafted to, the level of expectation that'll be placed on them, the pressure to perform right away. I think a lot goes into it, but certainly, Fred, I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, most definitely, because I could just dream of Riley Leonard being in Seattle. I'm just saying.
It's not the craziest thing I've ever. Really, I know we got to get you out of here. One more question, though, for you, because you know how it is each and every single year at the Combine, there's someone who always intrigues everyone with their potential athletically. Who can help themselves the most at the Combine?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to go with two guys, both on the defensive side of the ball, Mike Green, Adam Marshall. I think he really helped himself at the Senior Bowl. He showed the explosiveness, the power, even though he's more of a kind of slider frame player. But I think if he comes out and tests incredibly well, his arrow is already pointing up leaving Mobile. I think you could kind of see him moving from kind of that pick 20-ish range, and we could kind of start hearing rumblings of a top 10 player coming out of Indianapolis. And then, I'll stick to my Oregon Ducks, man. And look, we have 12 players at the Combine this year, a Duck record. And Jordan Birch, he's a name maybe you guys haven't heard of in this edge rushing group, but this is a freak among freaks. He's 6'5", 260. He might run a 4.5 40. And he is unbelievably athletic. Bruce Feldman had him on his freaks list, top 10 over the past 2 seasons. I mean, this guy is out of control. He's going to jump 11 feet in the broad jump. I mean, he's going to test off the charts. The production wasn't always there because he dealt with some injuries this past year, but look for him to be a big winner coming out of the Indianapolis Combine, and a player I think will work his way up into the early half of the second round, or perhaps shock people and go in the late first.
Check out his work on PFSN, also on X. He's our guy, Brentley Weissman. Hey, man, we always appreciate the time, and good to hear from you again.
House of the Dragon next time, my friend.
Yeah, let's lock in, and thanks for guys for having me.
Anytime, brother. Thank you.
Always great to have Brentley on the show. The man knows his stuff.
Yes, he does. I enjoy my conversation with that guy. Anybody I can see, face-to-face roasty, like myself.
Yes.
Right? Big Game of Thrones guy, House of Dragons, best show of all time. I'm willing to say this. Game of Thrones, best show of all time.
You like how I sit here and I don't know anything you're talking about?
Nothing.
And I go.
Every time we get on Game of Thrones, you just turn your head the other way.
I do. And this is what I got. What you got in the emails?
I got to ask you this question face to face.
Yeah.
How could you not watch Game of Thrones?
There are a handful of shows that I wish I would have watched, and now it's to the point where you can't watch everything. Do you know what I mean?
But now you get the luxury of watching it all the way through.
It's also just kind of gross.
Oh.
It's a little gory. Some of the plot lines are nasty. It's listen, I'm good.
That's a George R.R. Martin book. All right? He literally said, I wrote these books so they can't be made into TVs and movies. I wrote them so edgy that they can't, so he thought they couldn't. And HBO wanted to prove to him, we can bring it to the big screen. And he said, only way I agree to let y'all do that if you keep it the same. And they kept it the same, and it ended up being the most watched TV series in the world.
Can I just point out that you're talking to someone who went to the Ivy League of the Rockies?
Yeah. Yeah,
just so you know.
No, I understand. But no, best show of all times.
I mean, a lot of people agree with you. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's beautifully filmed. We ready for our next voicemail?
Yeah, we are.
All right. Hold on.
Smooth, Jinx, Anna. It's Dre, straight from out of Maryland. I want to give y'all 3 takes. I want to see what y'all opinion is on first round. I feel as though we should grab one of the running backs from Ohio State, Quinshon Judkins or Trey Henderson. I like Trey Henderson a little bit more because of change of direction. He's small. He can get through holes easier. Quinshon Judkins, I keep saying Quinyon because Quinyon Mitchell for the Eagles, whatever. But Quinshon Judkins can really run that rock. He can really get through the hole. And shifty also, but not like Trey Henderson. But I wouldn't be mad at either one. In the second round, maybe draft a corner. I know that Noah Benogany did his thing. Mike Sandusville did his thing. Of course, we got Marshawn Lattimore. I know it's good back there, but I feel as though we do need another one But yeah, that's my take. First round for the 29th pick, a running back, because y'all know we need it.
That's a little too rich for my blood. Running back in the first round, when I got all these running backs, I told you I like Raheem Sanders. Look at Rocket Sanders.
Would you take him at 29? I'd go with someone in the trenches, but
no, I'm taking the fat boy. I'm taking Bacon. Yeah. I'm taking Bacon in the first in the first round, probably taking Bacon in the second round. All right, they're just where I'm at right now. All right, and I just think when it comes to the running back, this is a very deep draft. We just talked about it. At least 15 guys. Put it like this. It's to the point now they reel off guys. Now, I do like the two Ohio State guys, Quinshawn Junker, because he was at
those are very talented running backs.
Very talented guys. But then you got a Cam Scatterboo that they don't bring up to like the 9th running back.
Right.
Like, so this shows you the depth in these running backs. Ollie Gordon the third, he was set to be a top 10 pick last year.
He's a great talent.
Like, so it's anytime you got a position of depth, I'm not in a rush to pick it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go pick early where I feel like it's not a lot of depth. So if I feel like it's not a lot of depth at edge rusher, I'm forced to go and get my edge rusher right now in the first or in the second. So it's more of I'm a prisoner to the depth, and I'm a prisoner to who's still on the board. Because at 29, 28 players are already gone. Yeah. All right, there ain't nothing you can do about it. So this had to be your mentality. And we got to stop. See, I was part of the flashy, the rims. Like, DBs and stuff, we are rims. Wide receiver, we are rims on the car. The offensive line and the defensive line, that's the motor. That make it go.
Yeah.
We make it look good.
Well, it's like, what would you rather have? And ideally both. Would you rather have an exceptional offensive line, mashing people, and a very good running back, or an incredible running back and a mediocre offensive line?
A good wide receiver group with a terrible offensive line.
It all starts in the middle. And if we were talking about the Eagles, what did we say earlier? It built from the inside out.
Built from the inside out, offensive line. Put it like this, I can have 3 stud wide receivers. If I can't block for the quarterback, he'll never get them the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we got one email to wrap up our emails and voicemails. Please don't forget to email and voicemail us, call us, 703-726-7419 or WashingtonGetLoud@gmail.com. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So please don't forget to email and call us. We're here even in the off season. Fred Smoot. The gridiron's done. The season's through. But now a fiercer battle waits for you. You boast of meatballs, pasta, sauce supreme. But can you stand the heat of my cuisine? Your pregame rituals, dishes from the past, will they hold up when faced with my repast? Prepare yourself, for now the challenge is set. In this arena, I won't break a sweat. So bring your best. Let's see what you can do. The kitchen's now the field, and I'm your foe. This culinary clash will be our test. Let's see who truly is the kitchen's best.
That sounds like the worst pickup line ever. Can you stand the heat from my cuisine?
Yes.
Get out of my face.
Yes. Tell him he done really messed up. Because now I'm going to be forced to go belt to butt.
Oh, you want belt to butt?
Oh my gosh, Fred, what?
I used to be a rapper. All right, so I'm not the one to come here with rhymes now.
If you were rapping, that'd be your first hit, belt to butt.
Listen, if Jello can make a hit.
That's true.
Shout out Kevin for emailing us. We've got to put something in the books. We're just getting into the off season, so something will come up.
Don't worry about it, Kevin.
We'll find a place to host this.
I'm going to outcook you. Don't worry about it. It'll be he challenged me to a cook-off, basically. That's what happened.
This is part 2, and Fred said yes, and then we didn't do anything about it.
Yep.
But
that wasn't Fred's fault.
I know we need to think about a venue. We got to do some brainstorming.
Like I was in court. It wasn't Fred's fault.
Oh my gosh.
I guess I got to pay some bills now. And then Anna has a game.
I do.
All right.
Jeopardy with a G, by the way.
Yes.
A little tease there.
Yeah, we always have to make sure you know it starts with a G.
Have you heard about our good friends at SeatGeek?
I have.
Oh, the 2025 football season is coming up, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all of the action. They make it so easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling tickets to Commanders football games or any other live event in D.C. SeatGeek is the place to do it. The most disruptive idea in ticketing is a ticket that works. SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
I'm going to get on SeatGeek because Kendrick Lamar is coming to Northwest Stadium.
And we need seats.
And I'm
tickets.
And I'm going to be there wearing my Drake shirt with Drake crossed out on it because
I think Drake's doing right now.
Drake hurt, man.
Oh, he's hurt so
You
bad.
see what happened to him yesterday?
No.
I think he was at his penthouse in Saint-Tropez or something like that.
Okay.
And somebody flew a drone up to his what's name, and he took off his Crocs and threw it at it. Another soft move by him.
I was wondering if that was AI. That's like my current thing. I'm like, is it real or is it AI? I can't tell
Nah, that
anymore.
was Drake.
Oh, that's sad.
Listen, what happened at halftime during the Super Bowl? I went right into my closet, put on a black shirt, a black suit. I watched the funeral.
You did.
I watched the funeral at halftime, and I was like, this can't do this to Drake. Come on, Drake been our favorite for a long time. And now it's just like, boy, that fall from grace. How do we look at Drake a year from now? Is he still at the top of the game?
No. The one thing that can save Drake is this. This is just my own theory. Is that first of all, unlike Kendrick, like Drake has more of like a pop sensibility, right?
Yeah.
Like he has a broader appeal in that sense. What he needs to do is take a break. Don't throw your crock at anything.
Yeah.
Just be and accept the L.
Yeah.
You're not the first rapper in history to
beat
lose
up.
a battle. Now you lost a big one.
Yeah.
But you take the L. You're like, you know what? I got beat. That's it. Take a break and then come back with a banger. But it's got to be a banger. And take some time off. But that new album that drops, whenever it drops, needs to be hot.
I just don't think he'll ever have. I just think it's never over.
It'll never be the level of success, I don't think, ever again.
He always gonna fill arenas, and he always gonna do this. But I just don't think that Drake love is coming back, because it's like now it's either or. Like
Plus, it's not cool to like Drake.
Yeah,
like if you're like, no, I love Drake, you'd be like, you don't want to be on that side.
Yeah, it's like now you're soft, and it's like Biggie and Pop. And which I told him, I like both of them, so I ain't gonna choose between them. But it's like now, you can't like both of them. You either gotta choose Kendrick,
have to choose, yeah.
Or you gotta choose Drake. And I'm like, I don't know, man. This damaging right here. Very damaging.
Jeopardy with a G, Anna. And by the way, this is the abridged version.
Yeah,
I have to give you credit. Great
abridged
word.
version, not shortened, abridged.
Oh.
Okay, so it's going to be a little bit speedier, and we're just going to alternate you guys
Okay.
on the questions. All right? So no categories to be selected. Who would like to go first?
I will.
All right, Fred. Washington reached its first NFC Championship game since which season?
91.
Bingo. Easy. All right. You ready, Jenks?
That's the one.
I'm like, I don't want.
Dan
who was the kicker
Quinn.
in 73?
Dan Quinn became just the second coach in franchise history to have this many wins in a season.
It's 12.
Yes. See,
okay.
starting off easy.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say where he goes to school. I was like, Salisbury.
He did.
All right, Fred. Washington was the first 6 seed to reach the conference championship game since this team in 2021.
That's a good one. Green Bay? No?
Incorrect. 49ers. All
I'm
right.
finna say the Niners too.
All right.
Brock Purdy.
All right, Jenks, you ready?
Yes.
Washington finished the season ranked in the top 10 in scoring and total offense for the first time since which season?
Top 10. Well, it's got to be. No, wait.
Don't see that. Yeah.
I'm going to go 2012.
That's correct.
RG3, right?
I
So
knew you were gonna
currently-
go there. But I was thinking to myself, damn, want some of them Kirk Cousins offenses?
That's a good point.
But this
Here's
is
a
just
question.
for scoring and total offense.
Can you stand the heat from my cuisine?
I can't.
Okay.
I just
throw
can't.
that in.
I can't.
Okay. Fred, name one other rookie quarterback in NFL history with at least 3,000 passing yards and
Cam
5.
Newton.
Correct. Well done.
Buzzed in early.
Easy.
Smoosh the dumbest.
Do you have any other ideas for other names who fall into this?
RG3.
Yeah, Kyler Murray also.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Terry McLaurin set the franchise record for touchdowns in a season with how many?
12. Oh, my fault.
Wow. 12.
Incorrect.
13.
Incorrect. You said 12 first. Fred threw you off.
Was it
Set him
13?
up.
It was 13.
I set him up.
Yeah. So you both are currently tied.
Oh, is this it?
Yes.
I need to make sure you missed one.
The tie
Fell for
breaking.
it.
You got me.
And this one's a little bit more difficult. All right.
Yeah.
Fred.
It's mine.
Yeah.
All right.
In the NFC divisional win over Detroit, Washington forced a season high of takeaways.
4.
Incorrect. No. 5. All right, Jinx. How many rookie quarterbacks have started in a conference championship game?
Rookie quarterbacks in a conference championship game.
And name the team.
Is he the only one?
3.
No. Oh, wait. Did Marino start a conference championship game?
No, Odell would have made 4.
Now you're trying to mess with me.
I'm trying to help you out, Ben
Roethlisberger. Did Marino
and Purdy.
Is it 4?
That's incorrect.
How many is it?
6.
6? You did it again? I thought you were trying to help me. I thought we were sending a card together.
All right. Well, you're tied and I ran out of questions.
I wouldn't have gotten it right, though. I would have run out. Who are the other guys?
Well, let me look it up. I didn't write that part down.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
That's bad producing right there. My God.
I didn't think you'd ask. I thought there'd be a clear winner by this point.
We know your last name ain't Sajak.
Okay, hold on. Let me look. It is started in an NFC.
Probably Johnny United.
Yeah, I started saying probably like an old quarterback or two. I'm trying to think of anyone recent.
Not NFC, conference championship.
No, Brock Purdy is pretty much the most recent.
Purdy, Roethlisberger. I could be wrong about Marino.
This one's saying 5, but I swear in the research packet I had, it said 6.
See, close.
Okay,
I don't know.
These are rookie quarterbacks who have been to the NFL Conference Championship.
Okay.
Brock Purdy, Mark Sanchez, Joe Flacco,
Dirty Sanchez,
Ben Roethlisberger, Sean King.
Yep, Sean King.
Okay, actually, no, it is 6 total. It's 6 total, and then Jaden's the 6th.
Yeah.
Marino not there.
Sean King.
So there you go.
And Dirty Sanchez, I would have never guessed. Because I forgot that Jets team was that good on
really
defense.
good. Yeah.
And all he did was hand the ball off.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that. Well, that's,
Well, game that ends with no winner.
All right. Once
Tied
again.
until next
You are
podcast.
so easy to like.
I forgot who I was talking to for a second.
I think you forgot we was going against each other.
I was like, I went it together. I was like,
Just the worst stuff ever.
you could have been like 12. I'd have been like 12. That's it for the Get Loud podcast presented by SeatGeek. For Anna, Kayla, my guy Smoot, I'm James. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. The views and opinions expressed by our podcast guests and or hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Washington Commanders or any of their representatives.